Today is September the 1st, 2022, the 20th anniversary of me learning English. And I finally decided not to learn it anymore. Growing up, I've always been a good student of English, but I've never been satisfied. I remember in the first English class of primary school, my teacher from the States prepared a piece of paper for everyone. On each of them, there was an English name. The teacher randomly assigned them to us and told us that, from now on, this would be your name. The name I was given was Wensi. Since the Northern Chinese dialect I speak doesn't use the sound wo, I always called myself Wensi. My teacher corrected me again and again. You're not Wensi, you're Wensi, Wensi, Wensi. But he never realized that I was not even Wensi. I have my name, in my language, that you didn't even try to enunciate. Alright, I confess, I didn't say that to him. I told you I wasn't confident, so I said, "Yes sir, thanks for your instruction," and I went home practicing Wensi 100 times. I was also a good student of English in middle school. I got the highest scores in class. I became the little grammar teacher of my classmates. But I've never been satisfied. One day when I traveled to England and had a brunch at a British friend's, she asked me what meat I wanted, ham or turkey. I said, "What's the difference?" She laughed so hard and repeated my question to her mom. She was like, "Ha ha ha, TATARA doesn't know what are ham and turkey." Her mom also laughed and explained it like she was teaching a toddler. Ham is unk unk, turkey is cluck cluck cluck. You know what, girls, I just didn't know the vocabulary. It's not that I'm too stupid to recognize animals. Of course I didn't say that as well. I've never felt confident. I thought I was laughed at because I wasn't good enough at English, so I studied even harder in high school. My confidence in English peaked before I went to college. Back then I had no problem buying stuff in a different country. I was happy to help the foreigners out when they got lost in China. I pretty much believed I could do anything with my English on the planet. Until I studied abroad in Australia, where I found a brand new species called native English speakers. I was the only international student in my major, so I spent all my time trying to understand what local people were talking about. Whenever my classmates were having little talks before classes, I stood there pretending I was one of them. When they laughed, I laughed. When they were angry, I showed my anger. But you wanna hear the truth? I didn't understand a word. The same feeling crushed me when I read Baju or Judy's Butler. I could only read, but not comprehend. I got a low grade for my first year. I thought that must be the problem with my English. So I spent days and nights in the library, looking up every single word I saw in the readings, and I rehearsed 5 times before I gave a presentation. As a result, I got the highest GPA in my department, but I was still not able to be satisfied, because I still couldn't make friends with anybody. That's when I started to hate going to school. I became silent, timid, and subordinated. I realized something went wrong when I took a course called Women in Chinese Literature, where all the readings were translated from Chinese to English. I read the Chinese version, 3 chapters per hour. My Australian mates read the English version, 1 chapter a day. Some of them reported the course being too hard. Some of them dropped out because they didn't understand the context behind the words. But hey, that's what I felt for every single class year. And that was when I knew that something was going wrong. Native speakers found their lives easier not because their English is better than mine. It is because they had the good fortune to be raised in environments where their native language application coincides with the dominant linguistic group. I finally realized that if I could learn the knowledge in my language and speak to the people in my tongue, I wouldn't be the person I was. I would be the most confident human being in the world. Language carries so many things, that's why it's innocent. When I said I couldn't have little talks with my classmates, I attributed all the failures to language, while ignoring the fact that I wasn't brave enough, I wasn't good at communication in general, or that just my classmates were xenophobia. Yet, language carries so many things, and that's also why it's guilty. Or let's put it this way, it is not language that is guilty, it is the people who use it as power that are guilty. Since language is one of the most intimate expressions of identity, to reject a person's language can just feel as if we're rejecting the person. When my name was forced anglicized by my teacher, my language was negated, and so was I. Growing up, I've never felt confident about my English because I've always been judged up on it, and other people are the mirror in which we see ourselves. Language is a powerful emblem of social behavior. It is often shocking to realize how extensively we may judge a person's personality, backgrounds, or intentions simply based upon their language, the dialect, or in some instances, just a single word choice they had. The English girl and her mom were so surprised when I told them I got into Harvard because they believed I was just as intelligent as I sounded in my second language at the age of 15. Perhaps the world reached a stage where some people are willing to see beyond skin color to access intellectual competence, but there are as yet few pockets that can listen beyond language form. People still don't see me, they only hear my voice. Language carries so many things, and that's why I'm giving up on it. I couldn't understand Baju as my classmates did because I didn't grow up in this Western context, so we didn't share the same cultural capitals. I couldn't join Australians' conversations because we didn't watch the same TV show. And I speak English in a Chinese accent because this is the language I talk to my mom. And you know what, when I lived in Australia, I had an Australian accent. I don't speak a standard English because of the plurality of my identity, not because I don't speak a perfect English. Even if I'm just not perfect at English, so what? This is my second language. This is the lingua franca that was pushed to learn. No matter how well or how bad I speak English, I'll have my voice. Ethnic minority, Chinese, Asian. I'll have my serpent's tongue, my woman's voice, my international student's voice, my influencer's voice. I'll overcome the tradition of silence. By the way, if you're wondering what will be happening after I stop learning English, can I get an iced New Orleans style? Okay, yes. It'll become or return to a tool that I use to buy myself a cup of coffee.